This is a disaster for the Lakers as it took just 5 games for the Minnesota Timberwolves to get a gentleman's sweep over Los Angeles, and it really just took an absolute miserable fourth quarter outing game after game in order for the Lakers to let this first round series slip away from their fingers and ultimately get upset by a hungry Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle, and Minnesota squad. Welcome to Lakers Digest, guys. My name is Hunter Pitcoff, and we cover everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers. Of course, guys, this is not the outcome I wanted. I'm sure if you're a Laker fan watching this probably was not the outcome you wanted as well. But with that being said, I promise you we will continue to, we'll not talk about this game too much, but we'll continue to cover the Los Angeles Lakers throughout the offseason, talk about how they could potentially improve the roster to a way that they can ultimately not have this first round upset happen again. And 76% of you guys watching the content are not subscribed. So if that is you, click the subscribe button so you keep up with everything up to date here. But guys, let's address the elephant in the room because the Lakers, not in 5. They did not win this one, guys, in 5 like Shannon Sharpe promised. Perhaps Shannon is the reason we are ultimately losing this series, of course, in 5 games because of what the hell is going on in his life right now. Perhaps that was some bad juju for the Los Angeles Lakers. But all jokes aside, guys, this was an absolutely brutal series to watch. And I know the Lakers didn't get swept, but this felt worse than either Denver series that the Lakers have played the last 2 seasons leading up to this one. Because those games, at least, were competitive and felt close. Like, these were ugly games to watch. There was not a single game, guys, where I felt like the Lakers played their brand of basketball and really had any sort of, like, real control over the game over Minnesota. And that includes the game they won. I just think that defensively the Lakers were really good that game. But for the most part, guys, the Lakers just got absolutely punked by the Minnesota Timberwolves in this series. And this game was kind of a microcosm of what was to come as the Lakers yet again blew another fourth quarter game and opportunity against Minnesota. Really outside of game 1, guys, I think the Lakers could have been up 3-1 in this series entering tonight's game had they just closed out games, especially game 4 where they could have tied up the series as they were up 10 points entering that fourth quarter. And of course, Minnesota outscores the Lakers by 13 and steals game 4 in Minnesota. So this was a brutal game, guys, and, you know, a lot of takeaways to bring out from it. So for the Los Angeles Lakers standpoint here, Dorian Finney-Smith ends up fouling out. Rui Hachimura, man, he played awesome, right? If there was any sort of, you know, unsung hero of this series, I thought Rui Hachimura, for the most part, played a very, very good series, especially over these last 2 games. Luka Doncic wasn't the prettiest game, but considering his effort and how bad he played in the first quarter, did not hit a shot. For him to kind of come back, get those 9 assists, get teammates involved, 28 points after getting that back, probably a back spasm after that foul on that Dante DiVincenzo committed, really kind of just took him out of the game. You would have thought, but he really had a gutsy performance. LeBron, you know, was steady, not, you know, had some very dominant games. This was not one of them. And Austin Reaves, I mean, you talk about somebody who probably was the biggest disappointment for the Lakers. It was definitely Austin Reaves. I didn't think he was, you know, unplayable garbage, but he didn't have one great game in this entire series. Not one. And maybe it's a mulligan because I know he's capable. He has had great games for the Lakers in the past in the playoffs, but this was not the time. And for Austin Reaves, if he wants to be the third option on a championship caliber team, he can't be putting up inefficient shooting numbers like he did. And perhaps we'll dive a little bit more into it. But this was a pretty bad series for Austin Reaves. A tough matchup for him as he had a lot of guys that are strong athletic defenders like a Jay McDaniels, Anthony Edwards, a Dante DiVincenzo. Mike Conley gave him some trouble too. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, like, this was not a great Austin Reaves series. Hit some timely shots, but ultimately, this was not a good series for him as the Lakers ultimately fall to Minnesota, and a team that, you know, really kind of just really exposed the Lakers. And that's going to bring us to our next point, guys, because the Lakers got served a slice of humble pie. I mean, that's kind of the best way you got to put it for the Lakers here, because this was a series where Minnesota got whatever they want. I think Chris Finch is a very underrated coach. I thought that even before this series happened. I think for a team that's been a pretty sorry franchise throughout its team's history in Minnesota, they have not been under Chris Finch. He has been fantastic ever since he took over the reins as the head coach here. And he really takes a lot of these guys who, in my opinion, a lot of them are probably even good enough to be starters on other teams, like a Dante DiVincenzo, who was a starter for the Knicks last year. Naz Reid could probably start on a bunch of teams. Even Nickeil Alexander-Walker could potentially start on some teams as well. All these guys, though, are able to buy in, and it could be any given player's night, right? We saw some nights where Naz Reid was the X factor. Jay McDaniels was fantastic, although he fouled out of this one. This was really the only bad game McDaniels had the whole series. Then you got Mike Conley hitting timely shots. Rudy Gobert has, by far and away, probably the best game of his entire career in a very pivotal game where Anthony Edwards just did not have it going. It was really the only bad Ant game of the entire series, and that did not matter as Rudy Gobert and Mike Conley, two of the veterans that came over from the Utah Jazz to come here to play in Minnesota, ultimately get the job done. And the Lakers, clearly, as we saw in Game 4, where JJ decided to play his five-man the entire second half, basically, they did not have a deep enough roster here to ultimately compete. And it led to a point where Maxi Kleber, who had not played for the Lakers at all this season and was acquired in the Luka Doncic trade and had been out with foot surgery for months since January, ultimately is getting minutes down the stretch in the fourth quarter for the Lakers because they just don't have any sort of answer to stop the Minnesota Timberwolves. So the Lakers have a lot of cleaning up to do. This was a team that many people, obviously, look, even outside of Lakers Digest and Lakers Nation and, everyone who loves the Lakers, we are a little bit different, but the national media was picking the Lakers to win this series. I didn't really hear anybody picking Minnesota to win this series. So give Minnesota credit. They're only like 2 games behind the Lakers. This is a team that went to the Western Conference Finals a season ago. They got their revenge, if you will, against Luka Doncic, although it's in the purple and gold, not for the Dallas Mavericks. And they're going to be advancing to play the winner of Houston or Golden State, as Houston did extend their series, killing the Golden State Warriors in the game before tonight. So the Lakers, the fact they couldn't even win a playoff series, man. And the way they lost this series too was absolutely pathetic. And I think it's a slice of humble pie. And it's going to lead us to our final point here as well, guys, because Magic Rob, it's time to do your job. Because Rob Pelinka, you have a lot to figure out here with this Lakers roster, because clearly they have a lot of deficiencies. Minnesota exposed those, and as a result, that is why you lost this series. Now, you can't fully blame Rob Pelinka, because when you make a trade for Luka Doncic, when that opportunity is available, you do it. I think the Lakers probably didn't have to give up as much as they should have to get Luka. But with that being said, when you trade away Anthony Davis and you trade away Max Christie and you don't get an apples for apples comparison back, which you almost definitely won't for Anthony Davis, and Max Christie is becoming a really good player as well. You trade away 2 starters. What do those guys do? Right? Anthony Davis, dominant big man. I don't know if the Lakers are going to get that, but I'll say trade for like Giannis or something. Max Christie, a 3-and-D wing who's got really good athleticism and can guard quicker players. The Lakers, what did they miss this series? A big man that can, dominate in the paint and defend the rim and rebound the basketball, and a wing like a Max Christie. Those are the type of players that the Lakers need to get this offseason, because Jackson Hayes, JJ doesn't trust him, and clearly he was not good this series. When you got a guy like Jared Vanderbilt, who I like a lot, he gives you no offense. You got Gabe Vincent. He can give you a little bit of offense, a little bit of defense, but he is undersized, and this was not a good Gabe Vincent series either. Jordan Goodwin, nice in the regular season. Wasn't fantastic, although I thought he had a good Game 3, but it wasn't really giving you the same kind of production. And then you got, a lot of one-way players, and that is kind of what killed the Lakers in this series, is that they, look at Minnesota, right? You have guys like DiVincenzo. He can do it on both ends. Naz Reid was playing some solid defense in this series, although he's definitely more of an offensive player. I mean, Julius Randle, somebody who has been a perennial playoff choker throughout his career, had 20 points in every single game of this series. So Anthony Edwards, we knew he was going to do his thing, but it was Julius Randle, it was the Jaden McDaniels. Those guys is what elevated Minnesota. Their depth and their size clearly showed against the Los Angeles Lakers, and that is why they won this series. So the Lakers are going to need to get bigger, tougher on defense and in the paint. And so we're going to talk about those moves, guys, throughout this, what's going to be a much longer offseason than what we expected for the Los Angeles Lakers as they lose in 5 to the Minnesota Timberwolves. We'll talk about the different targets that they should be looking at, whether it's a trade, whether it's free agency. They do have a second-round pick. Perhaps they can add someone in the draft. Maybe that can help, although I wouldn't bet on it. But you never know. Could happen. But anyways, guys, this was an absolutely miserable way to end the season. But what I will say, though, is it was a fun ride. My first season covering the Lakers here on Lakers Digest. I plan on sticking around, as well as Okechi Apakaba and Nick Goss, our other hosts here on the channel. And so we hope you guys stick around too, because we still want to get to 20,000 subscribers. But 76% of you guys watching the content are not subscribed. So if that is you, and if you've watched this video specifically and you're not subscribed, look, like, you're watching the worst of the worst here, guys, as Rob Pelinka now is going to have a full offseason to really figure out a way to build a roster around Luka Doncic and LeBron James, as he didn't really have as much time to do it this season. So if Rob Pelinka can put the right pieces in place, I promise you guys, hopefully the Lakers will be better off. They'll have better big man depth that fit Luka Doncic, those lob threats, and of course, Mark Williams would have been really nice in this series, but of course the Lakers do not have him. If they can get another guy similar to that, as well as some good wing defenders, guys, I think they can turn it around. But again, guys, tough way to end the season, but I want to thank you guys again for all the love and support. I think we had a little under 3,000 subscribers when the season started. And now we have over 18,000. I mean, that's a big jump for a small channel like ours, and we're only trying to get bigger. So click that subscribe button. We appreciate it. But this is not a final send-off, because we will continue to cover the Los Angeles Lakers here on Lakers Digest.